Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice, brought to you by Photography as an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard, Burbank, California. Attorney Ron Irwin's book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart. Author Larry Buford's book, To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rod Brownstein's Training School and Actors Space. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is founder and producing director of LA Theater Works. This is a nonprofit media arts and theater organization. She has produced award-winning radio dramas, plays, and films in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, and London. Under her supervision, LATW has created the largest library of plays on audio in the world. We'll be talking about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Susan Albert Loewenberg. Susan, welcome.
Thank you.
So nice to have you here today. Now, LATW, I got to tell you, wow, I've always been an admirer of your organization for what you do in the industry. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very, very much. And unfortunately, there are some of us who've never even heard of LATW. So we want from the jump, we want to let them get a little preview of what you do down there. Roll it, Tony.
This is Alfred Molina.
This is Kathleen Turner.
I'm Mark Ruffalo.
I'm Christine Lottie.
I'm Edward Asner.
This is LA Theater Works. I'm Susan Loewenberg.
And that's the opening to their weekly public radio program, heard by millions of listeners across the country. LA Theater Works records top actors of stage and screen in state-of-the-art productions. Great works of theater are transformed into intimate, compelling, and sound-rich audio plays, easily accessible to audiences worldwide.
Mama, there ain't no colored people living in Clyburn Park.
Well, there's gonna be some there now.
This is the tax shelter business. Of course we're going to attract attention from the IRS. Just call and stall. Stop waiting to stall. Stall them now.
LA Theater Works' audio theater collection is the largest of its kind in the world.
How long do you think it'll be before some botanical pedant blows the whistle on me?
The day after tomorrow, a letter in the Times.
You think this painting is not white, Ivan?
Not entirely, no.
You can download their recordings on iTunes, stream them online, and check them out from more than 9,000 public and university libraries. Teachers in 3,000 high schools in all 50 states use LA Theater Works recordings in their classrooms. And audiences can see LA Theater Works in action, bringing radio drama to the stages of performing arts centers across the country.
May I remind you, sir, that Mr. Jefferson was a slaveholder all his life?
That argument is just about as thin as the soup that was made by boiling the shadow of a pigeon that starved to death.
LA Theater Works presents world-class actors in contemporary and classic plays by our finest playwrights and provides the widest public access to these great audio works. To find out more, visit latw.org.
That is such an organization, my dear. What put you... He's got me. Okay, there we go. That is such an organization. What made you put together such a group as this?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I asked you, what is it that made you put together such an organization as LATW?
Well, actually, it wasn't LATW originally when we started. We were a group of young, idealistic theater artists in the early 70s. And group of us, about 6 of us, decided that we would like to do something with our theater experience for the general good. So we began giving workshops in prisons, and we called ourselves Artists in Prison. And for a number of years, we worked in the county jails, in the state prisons, and in the federal prisons, and produced incredible work with inmates. We would bring in a writer and a production designer and a costume designer and a director, and we would create plays out of improvisation. And people were actually invited. The general public used to come into the prison and watch these productions. And we even got the inmates furloughed at one point from the federal prison in San Pedro to come and perform at the John Anson Ford Theater in Los Angeles. So, and then we began to evolve into slowly into a professional theater producing organization. And in the early 80s, we began producing some very significant plays. We even took shows to off Broadway. We won major awards, etc. And we came to the attention of a group of very, very famous actors, and they got in touch with us. It was Richard Dreyfuss and John Lithgow and Marsha Mason, Ed Asner, Amy Irving, Julie Harris, the late Julie Harris. And they asked us if we would be the organization. They wanted to form a company and they wanted us to head it up. And I was kind of skeptical. And I kept resisting them because I thought, oh, are these guys really serious? Anyway, I finally decided, I said, okay, everybody has to put up $6,000. I thought, okay, that's the end of it. So everybody put up $6,000. Anyway, and we formed this wonderful group. And the idea was to form a theater company in Los Angeles. But one day, Richard Dreyfuss said, I've always wanted to work on the radio. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And so we talked about it. And I said, I happen to know Ruth Seymour, who runs KCRW here in Los Angeles. And I got in touch with Ruth and told her about it. And she jumped. She thought this was great. So we decided, what are we going to do? So for our first production, we thought we'd make a big splash. So we decided to record Sinclair Lewis's Babbitt, the novel. And my requirement was that all 34 members of this company had to be in it. It took us a year and a half. We recorded it piecemeal in the studio. Everybody was in it. It was 14 and a half hours. We did every word of the book. And every actor, Ed Asner was Babbitt, and all the other actors played different parts. Ruth premiered it on Thanksgiving Day as a 14 and a half hour special. It exploded. I mean, NPR got in touch with us and decided they wanted to air it in 3-hour segments. The BBC got in touch with us and said, we want to bring 2 of our top directors. We'll pay for everything. We want you to record 2 plays with us, which were The Crucible and Eric Bentley's Are You Now or Have You Ever Been, which is basically a docudrama about the same issue, the McCarthy hearings. So we recorded those 2 plays, and about 550 plays later, recorded plays, here we are. and many of those same actors are with us to this day.
That's beautiful, beautiful. There are many parts of your organization. One is the setting the stage for learning. Can you tell us about that, please?
So one of the important parts of our organization is obviously education.
Yes.
Because we've recorded so many plays that are relevant to the high school and junior high school and college curriculum. Mm-hmm. So Setting the Stage for Learning is an educational program where we provide teachers in public schools all over the United States with recordings that are relevant to the high school and junior high school curriculum, along with study guides. When the coronavirus epidemic broke out and everything started to close and schools started to close, we decided to take that Setting the Stage for Learning program and expand it. So we made an offer. We put together 25 titles that are relevant to the high school and junior high school curriculums. And we sent out a huge press release worldwide. We didn't just offer to teachers in America, but all over the world. An offer of 25 free recordings. All they have to do is sign up, go on our website, then they give the link to their students. They can pick all 25 plays, they can pick 2 plays, whatever it is. But we've got great selections. Within a week of the announcement, 500 teachers had signed up. And we're expecting, several thousand teachers ultimately to sign up. I just got a message from the New York City school system. And she said, I've got, 18,000 teachers. I want to send this out. I said, great. And it's everything from Shakespeare. We've done As You Like It, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, to contemporary work. There's a wonderful Pulitzer Prize winning, Tony Award winning play by Katuri Hall called The Mountaintop, which is, of course, her great play about Martin Luther King. That's in the list. We have a wonderful docudrama called Spill about the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico with an extraordinary study guide. So we've got a full range of stuff. We've got Arthur Miller in there. We've got Shaw. We've got so many wonderful titles, and then some fun things like Hound of the Baskervilles.
Got you.
So there we go.
How do you sign up for this program?
Okay, so the way teachers sign up, very simply, if you go to our website, which is latw.org, just go to the website. On the front page, you'll see the offer for teachers for setting the stage for learning. They just have to click, sign in. It's a very simple process. We also, by the way, have a project where we have free plays for the general public. And as you know, the great, wonderful, late Terrence McNally, who just passed away, we had recorded a wonderful play of his called Lips Together, Teeth Apart with Kristen Johnson and Stephen Weber. So, and Terry Gross just did a replay of her wonderful interview with Terrence McNally. So I contacted Terry. I said, we're going to do the play. And so can we put the show on the website? So we've taken her interview and the recording of Lips Together. It's up on our website. Anybody can access it. And it's our tribute to Terrence. And it's a wonderful recording. And we have a whole series of science plays called the Relativity Series. We're funded by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation to record plays with scientific themes. And we have 30 plays up there that are also free to the public. And we have a weekly radio show. And every week, if you don't happen to live in an area where the show is broadcast, you can just go on our website and hear the play.
Okay. You talked about some actors that you used to voice the play. We've got a few of them. Tony, would you show the picture of who some of the actors that we've got up there?
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you.
Okay, he's showing you right now some of the actors that you use.
Oh, some of the actors, yeah.
There's Alan Alda right there.
Yep, there he is. That's Rosalind Ayers, who's also a great, great director. She and her husband, Martin Jarvis, are English, and they have done many, many plays, of course, for the BBC, and they also direct for us.
Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Julie Hill.
Who is that?
Julie Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Good friend of mine.
Julie, yeah.
We go to church together.
Yeah.
Next one.
That's Elisa Botanegra. She is a wonderful young actress who actually did a tour for us. Every year, LA Theater Works takes a play from our catalog, and we tour around the United States. We usually do 30 to 40 performing arts centers. And she was in one of our recent shows.
Okay. Let's see. Another section that you have is called LATW and Broadcast, a weekly radio series that you talked about. Can you describe that, please?
Okay, so it's a 2-hour show.
Right.
And it is, I host it. Mm-hmm. We do a play. If there's time, I will do an interview with one of the artists involved, or possibly with an expert on the subject. Okay. The radio show is heard throughout the United States on public radio stations. It's also on the air daily in China.
Okay.
And we recently added KCRW Berlin in Germany. So we're also broadcast weekly in Germany. Okay. The Chinese, of course, wanted it every day. So I give them a show. I give them a show literally every other day.
Okay.
And and so that's the radio show. And you can also, if you miss the radio show,
right,
you can always go online and hear it.
Got you. Tony, would you go ahead and run that? Here's a little snip of what you play.
Try Shakespeare, who said, "A ministering angel my sister shall be." Or British statesman Benjamin Disraeli, who said, "Sweet is the voice of a sister in the season of sorrow." And no less profound are the words of Peanuts creator Charles Schulz, whose Linus Van Pelt opined that big sisters are the crabgrass in the lawn of life. All three of these assessments apply to our story this week. Wendy Wasserstein's The Sisters Rosenzweig. The stage is set.
Okay. That voice sounds familiar. All right. You do another series that we really enjoy. It's called the Relativity Series. Now, what started that one?
Well, the way that started was that I, after a number of years trying, it's always hard when you run a nonprofit organization trying to get people to fund you. And I had been trying for a long time to get the attention of the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, which is a wonderful, wonderful foundation that funds all kinds of interesting either media or film, all kinds of things that have to do with scientific subjects, because their mission is to increase the public's understanding of science and technology. And I met with them after a while. It took me a while to get to them, and convinced them that they should fund us. And they were already doing a wonderful program where they were giving several major theaters, including the Manhattan Theater Club in New York and the Ensemble Studio Theater in New York, money to commission playwrights to write plays about science. And our job was to pick the best of those commissions and record them. So, I might look at, 30 plays by playwrights who've been commissioned through Alfred P. Sloan. And it's my job. I usually do 2 a year to pick the best 2 of the current crop.
As you know, funding is most important for you. How can people make donations to your organization?
Well, individuals can make donations to the organization by going to our website, latw.org, and there's a wonderful button there that says donate, and you can do that. Yeah. And of course, we also have foundations, corporations, the government. We're funded by the NEA, by the California Arts Council, by the County of Los Angeles, as well as wonderful foundations and corporations, the Capital Group companies. We have wonderful individual donors. Of course, Alfred P. Sloan. We've been funded by the Mellon Foundation. You have to sort of access a wide variety of individuals and organizations to find funding.
Okay, and all this information is on your website?
It's all on the website, latw.org.
Thank you. Yes, we're getting close to the end of our show, but we cannot leave here without saying the name Terrence McNally. It was a great sadness, I understand, when you learned about his passing.
Yeah.
If you would allow us, we would like to dedicate this program today in his name. One of his treasured works is Lips Together, Teeth Apart. Now, when I first heard that, I said, okay, close your mouth, open your lips. It's so funny. It has to be. Now, I understand that your organization is offering free streaming access to the recording from now through the end of April. Is that understood?
Correct. Till the end of April. It's free.
Well, Susie, we really appreciate you coming by today. We're going to go ahead and end the show with playing just his music, and that'll take us out of here.
Thank you so much, Ron.
Oh, my pleasure. I wish we had more time. We can get you back again and talk to you. Best wishes to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Terrence McNally.
Sam.
What?
Shh. We're blissing out.
Speak for yourself. I'm too sensitive. That's my problem.
I think I see. There! Please, God, let it be him.
This is LA Theater Works. I'm Susan Loewenberg.
I'm always startled when I'm asked why I chose to write about AIDS. There was no choice. It was raining AIDS, and there was no umbrella large enough to shelter us.
That's playwright Terrence McNally. The specter of AIDS looms large in McNally's work, from Andre's Mother to Love, Valor, Compassion. And it underlies the often comedic and contentious interaction of the two couples who are spending the weekend at the gay seasonal paradise known as Fire Island Pines in New York. Beneath the alternately hilarious and painful struggles of the two couples The play unflinchingly portrays the fear, superstition, and silence that characterized the early years of the AIDS epidemic, while revealing the pain, rage, and loss that lay just beneath the surface.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography as an art is proud to offer you a $100 discount off any photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. And by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on the Actor's Choice. Haiku, style, passion, heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. The book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over a half century ago. Now, this experience produced within him a deep passion to experience and exercise Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. Irwin says he'll give 20% of the net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a new book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back in time. The book is now available in paperback, only $17.95 from Amazon. So please get your copy today. And now, a word from State Farm agent Carla Green. Roll it.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Thank you, Carla.
And thank you, Carla. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For more information, call 213-239-9675. That's 213-239-9675. Attention all actors. An Actor Space provides classes and private coaching by veteran actor Rob Brownstein. An Actor Space has Thursday night classes for working actors and Tuesday night foundation and technique classes for early career actors. The idea here is to build on each actor's strengths and who you are to help refine and reimagine your acting and your career. For more information, call class@robbrownstein.com. That's class@robbrownstein.com, or give them a call at 323-646-1268. That's 323-646-1268. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we here at the Actor's Choice are very proud to announce that from now on, from this day forward, you can follow the Actor's Choice and others on SoundCloud. That means that if you can't watch the Actor's Choice on Mondays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook page or YouTube, you can listen to the show right there in your car or when exercising at your leisure. We have a new channel on SoundCloud. Check it out on our website located at theactorschoicela.org. That's theactorschoicela.org. Thank you. And finally, if you have a product, a service, or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable. Thank you. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. My next guest is a celebrity chef, a best-selling author, and a world diabetes advocate. It's quite a story to tell, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and introduce him. Please welcome Charles Mattocks.
Hey, how are you, brother?
I'm doing fine. Did I say that last name right?
Mattocks.
Okay, we work on that. You came here to Hollywood in 1993, I'm told, where you made a TV movie called Daybreak. It was your first IMDb TV and film actor credit.
That actually probably was my third one.
Okay.
First one was a movie called Fly By Night with Daryl Chill Mitchell, Jeffrey Sams, a lot of other well-known actors who have gone on to do big things. And then my second one was Daybreak.
Okay.
With Cuba Gooding Jr., Maura Kelly, Omar Epps, and then my third one was Journey Absolution.
Okay.
Then it goes on from there.
I see that's where we go on IMDb, and sometimes you see them.
Yeah.
You wonder where did it go? I did that. Oh, I didn't do that. I understand you got a nickname while you were doing this play. It was called Soul Food.
That's when I was rapping. I was a rapper back in the days, and man, you went back on me.
Oh here. Yes.
No, that was my rapping name when I was a kid, man.
Got you.
Likes of LL Cool J and a lot of people like that, Russell Simmons,
Got you. You did another film, a TV movie called a few years later called The Summer of Ben Tyler.
Yeah. That was probably my biggest role, where I played the title role of Ben Tyler with James Woods and Elizabeth McGovern, and it was set in the 1940s, and I played almost like a Black Forrest Gump in many ways, And,
but that was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes. I should mention, for the benefit of our viewers, that all along you've had the inspiration of a gentleman. He's your uncle. What is his name?
Oh, Bob Marley.
Marley. Great Bob Marley. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
It's nice when you got a good fellow like that in the family. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay. Then you got some more. You took another shot as an actor, according to IMDb, 1997. It was called The Journey Absolution.
Yeah, that's with Richard Grieco, Mario Lopez, Jamie Presley, everybody who has gone on to do good things. I was always in the mix of good company, brother. I wish I would have stayed really hitting it hard. I was actually up for roles. I did the cast read through to play Oprah's husband in Beloved, and a lot of other things,
Well, then around that time, that's when you got into the chef business, right?
Yeah, I moved out of LA for a little while, and I was a single father. I moved to Florida, and just wanted to take a break. And my son came up with this cool idea about eating cheap but eating well. And I thought, you know what, I don't have much to do right now in Florida. Let me try my hand at this. I was always a good cook coming from a Caribbean background, and thought, you know what, let me give it a try. And it was a cool little name. It was called The Poor Chef, and it just took off, and I ran with it and had some fun with it,
You got a chance to be on the Today Show, Good Morning America, Martha Stewart, Dr. Oz. That made a success out of you. Wow.
It was nobody was doing, I think I've always picked things at times that nobody is doing. So there wasn't a young brother who was doing that type of, cooking or that type of those type of appearances. So it really worked, and with hard work and dedication, you'll make it happen.
But then something happened to you. I've been in that seat. I know how you feel. Got the news that you had type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And when you get hit like that, there are certain diseases that you say, wow, why me? But you get it. But sir, you did something, as I read, you did a lot of things that folks need to do. And that is read what you can about the disease.
Yeah.
Read all you can.
Yeah.
I say that because I'm a double prostate cancer survivor.
Oh, wow.
And I followed that rule.
Wow.
And you go and you read everything you can.
Yeah.
And it just takes all the fear out of you. It makes you feel, okay, this is what I've got. Now I got to go ahead and fight this.
Because, you can't really at times leave it to the doctors to per se give you the information that you need. You have to really take this into your own hands at times.
That's right.
And figure out what treatment works for you, what treatments are out there, what to eat, how to eat, when to eat, what vitamins to take, what supplements to take. So you have to, this is our life. And at the end of the day, we have to take it into our own hands.
Indeed. And as we call it, go get a second opinion sometimes.
Here you go. Here you go.
Get a second opinion. In 2013, you hosted and directed a video short called Reversed. Can you explain that one, please?
That was the first ever diabetes reality docuseries that aired on Discovery. Because once again, since I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I really felt like, you know what, I wanted to get out there and kind of change the world, kind of open up the doors, see what was going on, figure it all out. And you know, one way I figured that I could reach a lot of people with my message and a message of hope and eating right, living right, and beating this condition was through television. So I put this, I worked my behind off, put this program together, went and found a network that wanted to air it, went and found some sponsors. And we had a beautiful first season where we saw probably, we had 5 people on the show and they probably lost over 350 pounds combined. Some of them came off of insulin. Some of them, you know, reduced their medication and came off of medication. So it was really all about the mindset. It was really about looking, once, just like we were talking about, looking ourselves in that physical and spiritual and mental mirror and making the changes that we have to make. Because just with a few changes, you'd be surprised the amount of you know, conditions that can be lowered or be eliminated.
Exactly. Fast forward to 2015, you wrote, directed, and produced a documentary called Trial by Fire, a film based on CRPS/RSD.
Yeah.
What is CRPS/RSD? What is that?
CRPS is complex regional pain syndrome. And it's a rare disease that my mother had, and she had it for a couple of years, brother. And I didn't take it serious. And this disease is called the suicide disease. It won't kill you per se, but it'll make you wish you were dead. It's rated higher than amputation in childbirth. So it deals with severe pain all over the body. You almost feel like you're burning or you're being stuck by needles or I mean, it's a terrible, terrible condition. And, you know, she suffered from it and I really didn't understand it because you don't see it. When people say they have cancer, you kind of understand it. When people say you have this, you could understand it. But when somebody's just in pain and they're, you know, really aren't any, you know, per se things that you could see is wrong with them physically. So I decided I was going to tell her story, but also tell the story of other people who were living with the condition. And it went on to do tremendous. It won several awards all around the world. It's been seen on everything from PBS to you name it.
Great. I mean, when you stop and think about it, as a human being, this body of ours, we have so many things that attacked us, including what we got hitting us now, across the world.
Exactly.
Is CRPS anything like having stages, or you just go right to it?
You know, of course, I think that, you know, it can start off, you know, with mild symptoms and can progress to even internal. You know, there are people who, little children who I work with who will never be able to eat again because it has gone into their stomach, which is called gastroparesis, and it goes into their stomach. And it will swell up feet. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible disease. I had a lady yesterday send me a long message, and you know, it was heartbreaking to see what she's going through without any help because there's no real treatment, there's no treatment per se, and no cures. There's a few treatments that people do like ketamine and, you know, some pain stimulators to kind of help, you know, alleviate the pain. But when I tell you people are sitting in pain literally all day and night without any help,
and you can die from it.
Well, you can die from some complications of it, and once again, it's called suicide disease because, you know, can you imagine sitting in pain all day, brother? You know, it'll make you wish you weren't here.
Here's a crazy question: what is the connection between diabetes and the food that you eat?
Well, a major part, you know, especially with type 2. You know, type 2 is called a lifestyle condition. And it's based on, you know, people can get type 2 diabetes from lack of exercise, lack of sleep, of course, diet. Stress is a contributing factor of diabetes. So what we eat and what we put inside of us, especially with the carbs, the starch, the sugar, the processed food, I mean, we're literally fighting the food industry to try to, stay alive, because everything we eat is processed or full with sodium, full with carbs and sugar and things like that.
Being of Africans Americans ourselves, we love to eat what they call soul food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love it. Would you please tell us what is soul food, first of all, and what's the danger of eating it?
Well, I think soul food is actually just like it's called. It's food full with soul, soul and love. You know what I mean? And they had to make the best of what they did, so they put a lot of sugar in things, they put a lot of salt in things, put a lot of butter in it, and had to make sometimes what was very little, make it taste very good with just some of those ingredients. And of course, we know that with sugar and butter and salt can make almost anything taste good, right?
Yes, it can.
Plain white rice, put some sugar and some butter and some salt in it, man, and that thing tastes fantastic.
Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think that, unfortunately, that's what we had to make do on.
Yes.
And a lot of people still are eating that way, and it's come from generations. And the thing with that is once again, even in some of my cookbooks, there's ways to eat everything, that you can change just small things in those ingredients and those recipes. And then also portion control. I think that we live in a nation where, brother, if we go to the restaurant and the food ain't falling off the table and we can't go get 3-4 servings of that food, then we feel that we didn't give enough. That's why we live in a place where everything is supersized and then supersized. The drink has to be supersized, and we can't get enough. So I think that between some of those foods and the portion control and how much we even eat, if we really go back in time, when man first was walking on the earth, there were no 3 meals a day. Sometimes you'd be lucky if you get 1 meal a day, 1 meal every 2 days, right? And even now in certain parts of the world, people have to go and catch, parts of Brazil, people have to go catch fish for their dinner. And if they miss that fish for that day, they weren't eating that day. Only when the settlers came in here into the around the Native Americans did they see that they weren't eating so-called correctly, and they kind of put them on this whole 3 meal a day thing. But even right now, somebody said, brother, me and you got to go hunt our food for what we're going to eat today. Man, even if we seen a chicken, it'd almost be impossible trying to catch that thing, right? So we really need to cut back on our portions, cut back on how much we're eating. Intermittent fasting is a tremendous thing. I'm going on 20 hours right now, intermittent fasting. I'm about to eat my 1 meal a day and just had a great protein shake, and I'm done,
I remember when I was a kid, my mother was from North Carolina and my daddy was from South Carolina. Mm-hmm. So they got used to that food. I mean, they would give me pig feet, chitlins, hogs, more stuff like that. I'd be chowing down.
Yeah.
As I got a little bit older.
Back to you. That's the issue, that right. We don't realize what we do now echoes in eternity. And, at times we may think we're invincible and nothing will catch up to us. And all of a sudden somebody tells us we got high blood pressure and high cholesterol. We're like, man, how did that happen?
What do you recommend to people to stay in good shape?
Walking is key. Walking 2 to 3 times a day, even if it's for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, is key. Getting that cardiovascular is key. Supplementation is key. A lot of things wrong with some of these doctors, these primary care physicians. They aren't trained on nutrition. So when they go there and they tell you, hey, boy, you're going to need to lose 20 pounds or your diabetes is out of control and, go and eat and lose weight. They can't tell you what to eat because they're not a nutritionist, right? So you go home and you don't have a real plan. So it really is all about what we eat. Walking, exercise, drinking lots of water. We got to get away from the fruit juices, which are full of sugar. Sugar is a serious killer. It probably takes more lives than a bullet out here, than with the sugar and the addiction that we have to sugar and the obesity. So it's really about, man, I always say, brother, I would eat tree bark if it was keep me healthy. Because it's really not about, we worry. If you think about it, brother, we worry so much about food, it's not even funny.
Right.
I mean, it's like we wake up, we thinking what's for breakfast. By the time we finish breakfast and headed to work, we think about what we're gonna eat for lunch. Right. By the time we finish lunch and headed in the car, headed on home, boy, we thinking about what we're gonna eat for dinner. Then after dinner, man, before we go to bed, we might want a snack. We just think about food way too much. And I think if we really occupy our times with other things, we won't have that addiction crave. But once again, this is about life and death. And over 3 million people die from complications of diabetes. So this is something that is taking lives, that how we eat.
Right. I used to go into a room full of guys when I was doing lectures on prostate cancer. Yeah. And I would ask them, how many people have had a physical examination in the last 2 years? Mm-hmm. Very few hands went up.
Of course. But we know how to get to a restaurant, though, that's for sure.
Get all that food and just slop it down. Yes, indeed. Charles, you are a busy man. I want to thank your publicist.
Yeah.
She is quite a lady.
She is. Edna is no joke.
Yes, indeed. But she let me know that you are a busy man. You move here, you move there, you're on tours. What are you doing these days?
Well, my new show, 8 Days, airs in a couple of days on April 5th on the WGN network. Okay. That is the first ever docu-reality series based on something that you had, cancer. So basically, I found 5 people who are living with cancer all across the country and in some parts of the world, brought them to Mexico to work with a company called Hope for Cancer. And some of these people that are featured, had gone the traditional route, probably of chemotherapy and radiation, and for some of them it didn't work. One girl on there, Kate, had 6 months to live. And, you could imagine at that point when, many doctors say, hey, there's nothing more we can do. Somebody can say, hey, you know what, man, I'm going to find something that can work for me. And, there's a great company called Hope for Cancer, and they do amazing work. And, now Kate has a new lease on life, and that 6 months is going on. I think she's over a year now with many more years to go. She's now no evidence of detection, and a lot of other the guests on the show are no evidence of detection too as well. When they, had tried either traditional and it didn't really work, or tried this for the first time because they didn't want to go through the whole toxic route.
We just happen to have, thanks to you, sir, a trailer on 8 Days.
Yes.
That was the roll there, Tony.
Yeah.
When you get diagnosed with cancer, it's like there's no hope.
Cancer is a subject I thought I would never have to know anything about.
The scan was so ugly. It was so scary.
I know a lot of people in this world that have had breast cancer. Never thought I would be one of them.
Mr. Jose. Hola. ¿Cómo está? It's always difficult to, do testing.
We know a lot about cancer now in 2019.
Can I lift you up and spin you around?
Sure.
Kate had an issue with the prayer.
Right.
I just hope I won't be rejected from the group here.
No.
So emotions are raw, are fast.
This is what God wanted for the camera to capture us.
No one wants to die of cancer. No one wants to die, period.
Cancer is not a death sentence.
All right, so this consultation is to explain you with detail what we do here, how we do it, right? Here in Hope for Cancer, our main thing is not about the cancer itself. It's about the patient or about the person that is in that journey.
The healing starts from the moment you get on the airplane.
The best part of my day is that I'm getting closer to being cancer-free.
We're going to treat the root cause of why this developed in the first place.
This is just a start for her.
She doesn't want to die.
I want you to know, each one of you is an inspiration.
I mean, all you did was throw that comment out there, and that was the end of it.
So many emotions that you can't even identify.
We're going to change some lives. We're definitely going to change some lives.
I loved her. I gave my heart. I gave my heart to her.
This is healing. This is healing.
Yes. And in a few months, we'll find out and see how you guys are doing.
You have to go to the restroom.
All pinkies in 3. 8 days.
did you say the release date was for that?
That is April 5th. So that is coming out in a couple of days, you know.
Okay. And where can we see it at?
That's going to be on the WGN network, and it all across the country. You don't need a special package for that. So make sure you tune in. Go to WGNAmerica.com, I think it is, and you can go find out what time it airs in your city. And it's going to be powerful, brother. I mean, for someone like you said, who was a double prostate cancer survivor, you could imagine what I wanted to do with this was really tell the stories of people like yourself, right? Because you going through a prostate cancer 2 times, I'm sure that must have been a story to tell. And we don't know. We would never know by looking at you what you went through. So I wanted to take the people who are dealing with this and kind of tell their story. And it's a beautiful, loving piece, as you can see from the trailer.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Charles, you seem to be on a mission, my friend.
Yeah.
Advocate for this. I hope a lot of people will pay attention to what you're saying, listen and learn. That's all we got to say. Speaking of which, you're working on, you didn't tell me this, but you were working on another documentary. I found that out.
Which one?
The Diabetic You.
Yeah. The Diabetic You is a finished documentary that we're doing. It just got submitted in and is accepted for a big major film festival. I shot that a few years ago. That one is took me around the world, from India to the islands, and it really tells my story, but the story of many people's lives with diabetes, and beautiful piece. And then the last but not least is that I've got a new show we're working on. We just got approved with network for FYI Network, which is part of A&E, called The Plus, which is the first ever plus size curvy talk show, almost like Ellen, but for the plus size community. So we're really excited about that, because finally, brother, I want to go do something and have some fun, not just do stuff that is all about disease or things like that. I just want to go and enjoy some life and laugh and be silly, you know.
Charles, we thank you very much for what you're doing. May God bless you for what you're doing, because you save a lot of people's lives.
Thank you, brother.
Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Special thanks to our sponsors: Harvey Brandman Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Spike. And much thanks to our guest today, producer-director Susan Albert Loewenberg, and producer and world diabetes advocate Charles Mattocks. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, brother.